Bro, it
Oh,
sounds like you're on. Hold on. It sounds like you're on your computer, James.
oh, you want me to share? Yeah, no, we're chilling. We're chilling.
You're. I know you're on the. I know you're on Trading View. You have it locked in. You have it on that screen.
Yeah, no, bro. I got it on every screen in the house, bro. Here, let me share. Let me share. Hold on one second. How do I work
He said,
this?
"I got it on every screen in the house."
I got it on every screen in the house, bro. You can see it.
Yes,
You can see,
sir.
yeah, you're good. All right. Yeah. So pretty much, bro. Like, I mean, I feel like the markets were a little off for during this whole period. Like this whole, from July to August really confused me that we actually even retraced. I mean, it makes sense in hindsight, obviously, that like the market just kind of grabbed liquidity up here. It was a great play. I was literally that was the day I would think I was at your house, bro. It was like right as soon as this daily candle closed. Like
Literally.
this was like a really we both had it, the same analysis. We are like sells all day. Like it really was a great area for the market to grab some orders up around here. A lot of volume just trapped up here. But I'm very surprised that the market actually did make it up. Like I said, in hindsight is always 2020. But yeah, no, like if you just zoom out, like the higher time frames are very clear. Like we announced early in the year, we're gonna raise interest rates, right? We break structure, make a lower high, and then we just have a very clean bearish trend after that. So really the key to not getting chopped up in the noise, because like I have a lot of students and stuff that just kind of say like, oh, well, my structure, like I don't understand US 30s bullish on the daily, but I'm just like, you just gotta zoom out. Like a lot of times people are like this with their trading. They're like this when all they need to do is just go like this. So definitely now that we're flowing back in the main trend on the weekly, I don't see any reason why we're not gonna, at the minimum retest these lows, and more than likely we're gonna be creating new lower lows, to be honest with you. I've been calling, 25. I called 30,000. Roy can corroborate that. I said 30,000 months ago. And then, to be honest with you, my hero call right now is 18,000, like US 30. That's where I think. Wait, this is the wrong US 30. What the fuck is this shit? 18,000, bro. Like I really think there's a lot of confluence around here. This was right around Trump election, right? Trump got elected here. Ton of buyers in the market, a lot of buyer volume. We get the COVID spike, right? And if you even look, like historically, I've been comparing a lot of what's going on with 2008, right? So in 2008, US 30 was 14,000. It corrected, over a course of a year and a half to about a 54% correction. And if you look from the highs of, I'm just gonna delete all this shit because we got too much going on. From the highs of the all-time high to this low is about 50%. So if things kind of go how they're going, and they really start to develop, because we've just started raising interest rates. I've been doing a lot of research into so basically, a lot of like in 1971, Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard, right? Because the United States started printing so much money. Your dollar used to be backed by gold. You used to be able to go to the bank, get $100 worth of gold for $100 bill, right? So once the United States started spending too much money, then they didn't have actually gold reserves in the bank. Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard, and then they went crazy, with the printers, printing, and then it created so much inflation that in the 80s, when Reagan became president, Paul Volcker was the Fed chairman. And he basically, what he did was he crashed the entire economy to fix the US dollar. So their interest rates in the 80s were 20%, like 22% was the peak rate. So we're at like 3.5% or whatever it is, right? So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of like, I think Powell will kind of take a page out of Paul Volcker's book. Like, to be honest with you, we're going to have to crash this economy to save the currency. So I wouldn't be surprised for us to see, I mean, at minimum, like 26,000, 25,000 is like a good spot. But I'm not, taking this out of the equation just yet. I think long term we could probably see like 18K. Like, there's a lot of similar characteristics of 2008 are present today. So I mean the monthly chart is definitely bearish. It just broke structure, right? We higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So to be honest with you, I think we're kind of heading in that direction. Yeah, so now things make a lot more sense now. So it's really just about waiting for those nice lower highs to print on, the daily on the H4. I mean, it's very attractive to be selling these markets right now. So that's why you're not even getting really many. Like, look at this pullback. It's such a weak pullback. And then this was when Powell spoke, and Powell mentioned inflation 60 in an 8-minute speech. Powell said inflation 69 times, I think it was. So it's really serious. Like they're very, very, very hawkish at this point, and I think we're gonna see a serious downturn very soon. But again, in every crisis, there is opportunity to be had. So there's definitely opportunity to swing this shit to the floor. That's where I'm at. Like I'm just kind of like ready. I haven't been, as far as my trading, I haven't really been trading very much. Like I took a UJ trade the other day. I actually got stopped out on oil this week. Oil's been, I think oil is a good, is definitely a very good long heading into the winter, but it's the whole recession, interest rate thing is really actually causing a lot of people to sell oil.
Oil to 70, man. Oil to 70. You're the second person today to get on the stream. Abel was just on here and he was making his case for a bullish oil. And I was
Yeah,
like,
actually,
bro,
yeah,
we're going to 78. We're going to 70. We're going to 65 potentially.
maybe,
But
yeah, maybe.
obviously we can't predict too hard. So when you're saying that you're looking at the higher time frames, are you looking to swing trade these things down, or are you looking to take
I mean,
advantage of like intraday opportunity?
I always these days, bro, like I really look at the higher time frames for directional bias, and then I kind of dissect the lower time frames, So I think it's so important that you understand what's going on, like whether it's fundamentals or just in general, like the bigger picture. Like I said before, you need to take your binoculars off and actually look at what the fuck's going on, So because when you're flowing with the overall the higher trend, your probability of winning is just way higher, So and as well as the risk to reward it can be unlimited, like you always, if you know how to trade up the lower time frames and then you just incorporate a little bit of swing trading, you can get these crazy risk to reward trades where you actually can hold, for, I'm not saying you have to hold for months, but I've never held the trade for longer than, like, I think 3 weeks was the longest I ever held a trade, was that UJ trade. So, I mean, you can do both, but like, why not let the market do the heavy lifting for you? Like the hard part is the analysis and the easy part is just actually making the money, as much as it sounds counterintuitive to what most people think. It really is that simple. Like if you just catch the right trade and know where the trend is heading, So
So that's kind of what Raul was just saying. It's kind of like using the higher time frames directionally, using the key structural levels to indicate a closure, and then kind of like what you said was dissect on the smaller time frames. So it
yeah,
seems
like
to be pretty
I used to,
consistent.
bro, when I first started trading, like I used to take 50, 60, 70 trades a day, like that's what I first started doing. And then it just becomes like a conflict of interest. Like the whole point of trading is to preserve your time, not to have another job sitting at the chair all day, So yeah, I think it's just a lot easier, it takes a lot of the stress. So I mean, it's always going to be stressful, but I think for me, it just works a lot better. I've ever since I started focusing on the bigger picture, I took less trades. I was able to make more money and just live a better life overall. Because like Raul said before, it's like, it's fatiguing and you have other businesses, other ventures going, and it's like, yo, I don't want trading to suck away all my life. Like that's why I stopped doing the 50 lot shit, because one, because I made a good sum of money. I made sure I paid myself. But two, it's like, yo, like I literally couldn't live properly. Like honestly, when I was trading that type of account for me, because I didn't have M sitting in the bank like that. Everything in the bank was in my trading account, So basically I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was losing weight, I wasn't in the gym, I was very irregular with my life, and it's just, it's now I'd rather do that over a longer period of time, So pretty much.
There we go. So lifestyle definitely more important than just quality of life over
Yeah,
just
it's
making a
like,
little bit
yo,
more
you only
money.
get so much time to live your life. So why would I, like at a certain point, money is not as much of an incentivizer,
Yeah.
Like once
Raul,
you
do you
have
feel the same
money,
thing? Oh, my bad, James.
no, you're good, you're good.
I just want to ask Raul. Raul, do you feel the same thing? Which is kind of like, yeah, there's some things that we can all do to make a little bit more money, but put a lot more stress on. Which one do you feel like you prefer?
I feel like a lot of people try and like how would I put this? I feel like a lot of people try and live to make money when it's really supposed to be the opposite. You know, you just gotta have your money work for you so that you could go on and live. This is kind of the same thing what James was literally just saying about trading literally every day, all day. It's kind of counterintuitive because like really I got into trading so I could trade to go live. You know, I didn't start living to just trade, you know?
There we go. I think that's the main thing that people don't realize is they see a lot of people use the success from trading, invest in other avenues, take advantage of all these opportunities. But for some reason, everybody wants to make it off trading alone. So do you guys believe that that's like a thing that needs to change? People got to invest their trading profits, or is it possible to trade exclusively? That be your exclusive income?
I
What
feel
do you
like
guys think?
Absolutely, it's possible to just trade. I mean, before I actually made a substantial sum of money trading, like that was really my only source of income. You know, maybe that's not the best thing that I, could have done, but that was how I got my money. And still, like most of my money is still come. You know, I have other ventures and things now. I'm looking to diversify because trading at the end of the day it's pretty turbulent. It's not gonna always be consistent. People think, oh, start becoming successful and you're like, oh, I have 80% win rate every single month of every single year. Like it's not like that. It's not like you just have better decision making. You manage your money better. You still take losses. Like everyone takes losses, and some months you have more losses. Some months you don't have any losses. But it's all about the money management. So, and again, part of money management is paying yourself and investing into other streams of income, real estate, Amazon automation, Facebook automation, trucking. Like there's actually a lot of places to make money with outside of trading, that are still involved, like in the internet and whatever. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of load off your shoulders, at that point, once you have something like actually making you money while you're sleeping.